Coming to you live from Sestercia. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jordan.
And it is story chapter 7 of Oathsworn. We are almost 1/3 of the way done. How does it feel?
It feels almost incredible.
Yeah, almost. We were talking before this game about potentially switching up what characters we're playing just to explore what else there is.
Yeah, just for fun, yeah.
Plus you painted most of if not all the Oathsworn, so we might as well get some of them on the table.
There's one I haven't painted yet, and it's because we haven't unlocked her yet. I actually don't know how that happens, but she's not available to select until something happens.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so she's unpainted.
I can picture the unpainted mini because I know which mini is in the tray unpainted.
There you go.
Didn't know anything else about what that mini was supposed to be, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, something to look forward to in the next in the 15 remaining chapters.
Right.
Sometime in there.
I think they expect you to change characters because you're not really probably going to play this campaign more than once, and there are 12 plus characters or whatever.
Yeah, potentially.
So they're like, don't you want to just try these out? And,
I mean. Or it's been about as long since it last made us kill a character as it was before we kill a character. So like maybe that happens every 3 to 5 chapters.
That'd be cool. I'd
right?
like that.
Which forces you to churn.
Yeah. Who's the most disposable? Do you think?
I mean, I would say probably the Harbinger.
That's what I was
But
saying
I
too.
also was the one who sacrificed and got a new character last time, so I feel like it should be you if it comes up again.
Very fair. That's very fair.
But both of your characters are pretty good.
No, I'd be happy to change it up. I mean, the priest is interesting as our only healer, but I wonder if there's another healer in the box. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm actually also not sure that your bear is as distinct as sort of our tank now that we all have 3 defense. As kind of our armor has caught up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the bear does have defense cards with values as high as 4.
That's true.
But you're right. That's not a huge difference.
Yeah. He stood out as the one who should be taking all the hits when everyone else had 2 armor and he had 3, and now we all have 3. Literally, we all have the same right now.
In this very session, I think we're off to the banksmith to buy some new cards, and maybe we can get him some new armor.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Speaking of this session, I guess. We have, we'll start reading the text in a second, but we did look ahead to see that we are arriving to Sestercia in this scenario. So yeah, it seems like we'll be able to shop, be able to do all those things here. We avoided what I think has been at least my least favorite chapter so far was the wandering in the wilderness. I was afraid that there would be another one of those on the way between these cities.
Yeah.
I don't miss it.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I'm sure we're going to use this again,
but
hopefully only 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, there were, I think in that box, I'm pointing off camera, but in this little box of cards that you use for the exploration, it was...
in case you don't recall and you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, there was a general...
There are cards like this, and it kind of made a grid.
You move north, south, east, west on kind of this grid.
Yeah, and there's different features on them,
Yeah, this is a new camera, by the way. That's a little desaturated right now. I'm going to work out how to fix that for a future video. For now, all you're looking at is a map anyway. It makes sense for.
So you're saying there's a lot more of these?
I think that there were a decent number of specific ones with titles that were not used the first time, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't think we used those stone circles and camps.
Yeah, there's 16 of these.
Yeah, and they looked as you just held them up. I think they might have been double-sided. They might even have different things on the other side, or maybe they're the same.
To be the same.
Oh, okay.
I think these cards at least flipped based on how corrupted that area of the forest was.
Oh yeah, whether they were blocking or traversable.
So I wonder if these have a similar flip effect. Although these look exactly the same.
They look identical.
So hard to say.
Anyway, we're not doing that.
We're not. Yay! We're here in Sestercia, which we were investigating. It looks like a very rich city.
Yeah. We were looking at the map off the or before we started filming, and yeah, there's a monastery, a great library, gardens of Nim. It looks very wealthy and very religious, right? Because we have
the statue of Justinia. That's probably a religious figure.
The conclave,
Martyr's Way,
the Sisterhood Monastery,
right?
And then over here, this large area outside kind of the small walls is communal farms.
Yeah, it looks really rich. There's a lot of water features in here, which is cool. And I've noticed there's the Order of the Dragons, the Order of the Thorns, the Order of the Word. So there's a bunch of different orders of. which is cool.
And these weird little circled encampments on the outskirts.
Yeah, those look like maybe early warnings, places if something's running out of the forest towards the city.
Yeah, not sure what to make of them, but
we'll see. But yeah, you can see here, like, there's this almost like fence all the way around. And these ones are all isolated, but these ones are actually like sort of connected. Huh. Anyway, it looks cool. It looks like a fun place to explore.
Yeah, but I doubt it. Usually terrible things happen in this stories.
That's true. We noticed one other thing. This symbol, which is a book with a sword through it.
Oh, that's true.
Which is actually on Mediolius's little book on his chest. He's our priest. So maybe he has something to do with this.
I mean, it is a seemingly a religion focused city here, so it could be where he's from, or
trained,
at least or sort of the capital for the religion that he practices. I don't actually know what religion the priest you're playing is.
It's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't feel like we've actually explored religion in this world much, right?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
He's a priest in that he's like a light healer, It's not like, it doesn't feel like he's a religious priest,
right.
But I guess he is.
Yeah.
I noticed one other thing which I think is just a fun detail. This is like a raised aqueduct, which is pretty sweet, and then it like drops into this aqueduct that travels to the communal
That
farms.
is cool. There's a lot of detail put into these maps.
Yeah, there is.
Like
there's another one.
These are really gorgeous.
Anyway, yeah, this is great. So I'm excited to explore this city.
Well, we'll see whether we get to.
Okay.
Before we start, hey, like the video, subscribe to the channel. You've watched 12 of these videos by now, ish. Please do. The final stretch of your journey from Varoom is devoid of any further man-eating beasts, let alone creatures with barbed whip-like arms. Since leaving Varoom, a never-ending downpour has hampered your trek. Not once has the rain let up, and you are on your third straight day without sleep. The journey is not made easier by the fact that you never had a choice. Oathsworn do not refuse a king. Not if Varoom is to have any chance of surviving the plague. Stepping from the shadows of the Deepwood, the rains soon cease and a warm sun breaks through the clouds. Glinting in that sunlight are the massive white marble walls of the holy city, Sestercia. So yeah, holy city right there. That basically sums up what we were observing on the map.
Right.
Outside the city gate, you spot a pair of imposing warriors, their giant kite shields and shining armor splattered with the blood of a fresh kill. At their feet, a pile of mutilated flesh that was once a giant beast of some kind. You've heard tales of a company of Cistercian knights known as the Order of Thorns that often trains its members in this manner, weathering both the mind and body of a knight beyond the wall until they are both rock hard. Yep.
Okay.
Rock hard mind, rock hard body. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
As you approach the gate, the knight's spears cross, barring your approach. One of your company members flashes their oath mark and the weapons part, allowing you to pass. Once your group has cleared the quarantine inspection area, the portcullis opens out into a marvelous sight. In the expansive land before you lay farms filled with workers harvesting crops, and you realize, for the first time, you're seeing above-ground farming. Beyond the fields of golden grain and freshly planted crops, the tiered city rises, white and resplendent, stretching partway up a great mountain range that runs from one end of the horizon to the other. A voice pierces your present distraction. Pillar and path, Oathsworn! Dressed in a familiar purple cloak of the Cistercian faith, a priest stands stoically before you. We've been expecting you. The Lord Marshal will see you at once. The instruction is place your free company marker on location 24.
And there's a little piece of art in there.
There is. It is the city.
Very idyllic.
Yeah. This game actually, given the thousand-ish cards in this game mostly don't have art, or at least like the encounter cards don't. When the game does have art, it is like really nice.
Yeah, that's great art.
That's gorgeous. Take us from here.
Passing down a paved road through the fields, you find yourself flanked by the statues of martyrs. They are not smiling, and neither, for that matter, is anyone else. There are no sounds of merriment, no laughter or shouts of anger, just people going about their drudgery in silence. As you continue on, an odd sound breaks the quiet, the sound of pain and switches. Drawn to it, you find a crowd gathered around a circular dirt patch where a boy is being thrashed with canes by two men wearing demonic masks. Sensing your interest, the priest explains. The boy has been there all night, and he is now passing through the valley, where temptation can be found. To leave the circle is to give in to temptation. He is marked by his sins, so he can remember his faults. To spare the rod is to spoil the child. Choose one. And by the way, this is Martyr's Way that we're at.
Yeah.
So we can choose one. We can intervene on the boy's behalf. We can only observe the ritual, or we can just move on.
I mean, the first thing we do when we get here being to interrupt one of their rituals seems like a little much.
Yeah. Do you want to watch, or do you want to just walk away?
I mean, I'm morbidly fascinated.
Okay.
But
I think
what do you
that's
think? Okay.
I was going to say walk away, but I don't really have a strong preference, so I'm down to only observe. I'm guessing it's just going to cost us the time, and we're going to be subjected to some pretty bloody writing, but I'm up for that.
Yeah, as long as you have to read it.
Yeah, okay, sure. Do you say as long as you have to or don't have to?
As long as you have to read it.
Oh, okay, fine. All right, so the boy grits his teeth, yet cannot help but let out cries of pain as red welts crisscross his back and chest. Such discipline in one so young is admirable. One blow finally splits the skin, and a rivulet of blood trickles down his back. It is hard to watch, but it is their way and their faith. With encouragement from the priest, you continue on. Instruction. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
You are welcome. So those, the tokens being the punchline to all of these, like, kind of unrelated story bits is always really silly.
So funny. Okay, and then it says place location 6 and go there. So we'll just put that on the time track.
Oh, so we're going all the way up to the conclave from there.
I suppose so. I'll hand that off to you.
Should 24 be? Do you remember? Did it say to place 24? Okay.
I mean, but you read it, so if you want to double check,
Can you go back? Let's double check. Nope. It just said place your marker there. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So go to location 6. Oh, it's because I went back. I have to click all the instruction buttons. Okay. The conclave is the seat of all authority in Sestercia. The massive building, constructed from huge blocks of white marble, noticeably lacks the pretentiousness of the ornamental spires and intricate patterns found on the cathedrals and religious buildings. The priest leads you through a crisscross of hallways, finally arriving at the chamber of the Lord Marshal of Sestercia. A broad-shouldered man with the regal look of a military officer, he is speaking with an aide and signing a document as you enter. The price of heresy is fire. Make sure they understand, he remarks, returning the quill to the inkwell before dismissing the aide and turning his attention to you. Ah, the Free Company. The king sent a raven before your arrival, so I'll cut to the heart of it. You have traveled far, Oathsworn. However, the mendicants are indisposed at the moment. That is a sentence with a lot of $5 words I don't understand. Actually, I guess I only don't understand mendicants.
I think those are the healers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You may have them once they return. You have my word. In the meantime, there's a delicate matter, which requires your unique capabilities. We choose, remind him of your authority and his duty to Varum and the Pact, or tell him you might be willing to help for the right price. We are mercenaries after all, right?
Are we? Yeah, we're nebulous.
Yeah.
Because we're mercenaries tied to the cause of good. I don't know.
We're good mercenaries.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with whichever. Remind him of your authority and his duty? I mean, he's not going to like that.
No. But neither would he... Neither would us... Would he like us naming our price any better?
I think he'd understand it a little more. Actually, no, he wouldn't. He just said... What did he just say about heresy? The price of heresy is fire? Yeah, no. No, we should definitely remind him of our authority.
Oops. Perform a threatening check. Difficulty 6-7 if you have a penitent or priest with you.
And we do.
So having a priest with us makes this harder.
I guess so.
Interesting. Okay. Who wants to make a threatening check?
Because he's got the little icon on his chest and it's reassuring to the king.
Did you happen to pull out the free company sheet? Because I think the talkie things are what we boosted. And I'm wondering if we have threatening. Oh, you know what? This usually happens once per video. I think that it was not in the bag. I think it got folded up in right next to the bag because I forgot to put it in last time.
Well, you're right that it's not in the bag.
Okay, here it is. Let's see. Yes, we are quick-witted and we have a redraw on barter, threat, and reason.
Okay. And we're allowed to use these redraws as well, right?
Yeah, totally. I think we choose which Oathsworn is doing it, and
Right.
only we can't like pool our redraws.
Right. Well, I'm happy to have the Ursus do it, or because we are threatening, so it feels on point. But
That's true. Yeah.
I'm also fine to I don't have any Empower tokens, which are you even allowed to use those on this?
I don't remember, but I don't think I would use them. Yeah, I think the bear can do it.
All right,
and we get a free redraw from our free company trait. So like first redraw is free.
Can we use item abilities on this? No, right?
I don't think so. I think that these cards are functionally not on the table for this.
Right. Yep. Got it. All right. So how many do we really need here?
I mean, if the non-blank white cards are one or two, you probably need like 4 or 5, and you've got a free redraw. I think I like 5.
Okay.
And then just crit on at least one.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm drawing a lot of the deck here. All right. 1, 2, 4.
Okay. Well, first redraw is free.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no.
So I will spend a redraw.
All right. We're due for a crit. There it is. Okay. And done it.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, 7.
Yep, perfect. Right on. If you succeed, the Lord Marshal's face hardens. He does not like being talked to like this. I am aware, but I cannot give what's not available right now. I ask for a favor in the meantime. Of course, you will be compensated for your trouble.
Okay.
But it says, so like, his line is, of course, you will be compensated for your trouble. And then it goes on from there. It is not a request.
Okay.
He tosses a sack of coins on the table before you. You gain 10 iron.
Great.
That was easy. Do we have the money on the table?
It feels like that would have happened either way.
There's so many little parts that we don't know if we need. Okay, we owe ourselves 10 iron. I'll grab it when I have a chance.
I can keep reading if you want to. Grab it.
I'll just finish this location and grab it. The pact allows for no compulsion of contract with a free company. Only the Ravenspire can do that. However, if the Lord Marshal of Sestercia chooses to stand against you, it will cause serious problems for your goals here. Not seeing a way out of this without endangering your purpose, you assent.
Okay.
Very well then. Now that we have an understanding, let us discuss the matter at hand, the Lord Marshal says, nodding to someone behind you. You turn to see a square-jawed guard, clad in polished steel armor, close the only door to the chamber and take a position at your side. He stands at attention with his gaze fixed straight ahead. Apparently this discussion is not intended for anyone outside this room. This is a highly delicate matter. Your silence and discretion are not optional, insists the Lord Marshal, looking at each of you in turn. One of our most holy warrior priests has gone missing, a venerator of the 100. None have ever failed their charge before, and only in death does their duty end. They are a light that guides our faithful, and to have one simply go missing is a matter of grave concern. You must find this warrior and return him to us. Should he not be found alive, you will recover his armor and weapons. They are relics of our faith. The Lord Marshal motions to the armored warrior standing beside you. Quintus, my adjutant. Another word I don't know. Adjutant?
Assistant.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Then he goes on, will assist you. He carries my authority with him, and you will see he will see that you have everything you need while conducting your investigation. Quintus looks every bit the dutiful soldier, and no doubt carries the Lord Marshal's eyes and ears wherever he goes as well. Gain ally card 19, Quintus. We do also have the allies on him? Boy, we dropped the ball here. Okay, I'm just going to hit the pause button. We'll fix all this. Great. We found Quintus.
Here he is. Tell us about him. He's a man in a suit of armor with a staff. He's an adjutant. Yeah, 4 defense. I feel like that's kind of common on ally cards, maybe. And a black might cube, which seems good. Okay.
So far, we haven't had to have any of our allies fight. But
this is a strong ability, yeah, that's true. When you critical during an attack that hits, the target suffers knockback 4. That's a bigger number than I've seen before.
Knockback 4 is a lot of knockback. Yeah. I also did grab the purse.
All right.
So here's... where are the 5s? They made 5s, right? Okay, here's a 5. And some 1s. Why is my phone ringing? Okay.
Alright, I'm going to give, I think the bear and the Avi have the least, so they should each take 3. And then the ranger and the priest can each take 2.
Sounds fine to me.
So I will put in 2 from the bear and take a 5. And then I'll take those 2 onto the priest.
Okay, then 2 for Thera and 3 for Squawk.
There you go.
Okay, so we left off at gaining the ally card. I would suggest you begin at the Hall of the Hundred. Quintus will show you the way, utters the Lord Marshal, as he turns his attention once again to documents arranged on the table before him. You are dismissed. As you make your way to the door, the Lord Marshal offers one last bit of advice. Speak not a word of this to anyone, Oathsworn, or the mendicants will be the least of your concerns.
Wow.
Place location 2, and go there.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you. And the Hall of the Hundred is at the very top of the city, and it goes outside the city into the mountain, which looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's like built into the mountain? Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Oh, and there's some nice art of it here.
It doesn't fit on the screen all at once, but it
looks
pretty
great.
Yeah.
It's like Lord of the Rings level art.
Yeah.
It's like the Two Towers, honestly, or one of the two towers.
Right.
Okay. It is called the Ascent, Quintus tells you as he motions a gloved hand toward the gleaming white cathedral which towers before you. Built directly into the side of the mountain, its elegantly carved stone construction reflects the sunlight, nearly blinding all who look directly upon it. The first steps of the great staircase begin here, winding up the inside of the mountain all the way to the summit itself, he continues. That is where the most sacred site of our faith lies. Passing through the massive double doors, the sheer size of its vaulted ceiling and the mastery of its stonework take your breath away. You travel along a path which runs directly through the center of the cathedral. Flanking you on either side are 12 great suits of armor perched atop tall marble plinths. Supplicants bow in prayer before each one, giving you the sense they are more like shrines than weapons of war. Quintus notices your interest and explains. These are the sacred suits of armor worn by the venerators. Come this way. He leads you to another area of the cathedral.
Can we have some?
We can ask.
Sounds cool.
I imagine they're like high on plinths, you know? But maybe we'll recover some from this guy and keep them or something.
Can my Avi Harbinger fly? Has that been established?
I mean, your wings are under a cloak. It feels like maybe you can't. Actually, it's unclear if you even have wings under the cloak. You have feathers.
Am I actually a bird person or am I just dressed as one? Because I'm also like wearing what looks like a mask.
I think you are actually a bird person, but it's hard to know for sure. Okay, Quintus leads you to another area of the cathedral well away from the throngs of pilgrims and supplicants. The air here is filled with the strong scent of weapon oil mixed with incense. On Quintus's authority, you enter the Hall of the Hundred. The giant warrior priests known as the Venerators are unmistakable. Towering men of chiseled muscle, each is half again as tall as any human. Each is dressed in richly decorated robes with cowls pulled over their heads, always concealing their faces. Some of the warrior priests train in fenced sparring arenas, while others pace the hall, studying huge leather-bound tomes. Your presence is noted immediately as one of their custodians approaches you. The man dressed in silver robes with green gems set into the collar addresses your party. I assume you are the adjutant, he inquires. Quintus nods and curiously ushers the custodian off to the side so they can speak out of your earshot. Another reminder that outsiders are not trusted here. After a few moments, they seem to reach agreement, and the custodian addresses your group. Very well, then. If you seek to know us, you must first be weighed. By blade or blood, our masters demand a test of combat. One or all must face the trial. Iron sharpens iron. The pillar must be strengthened. Looking at the giants arrayed before you, you realize this is probably going to hurt. Getting injured on a hunt is a serious matter and not something to be looked for. The Venerators are said to have the strength of 10 men. You will put that to the test, but how best to proceed?
The strength of how many men would you say your warbear has?
6.
Okay. Yeah, so then the rest of us combined, we're 9.
We're 9.
Like,
That's pretty good.
I like our chances.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay, the Venerators are said to have the strength of 10 men, but how best to proceed? One of you could take the test alone, or you could attempt it together and possibly stand a better chance. Though the more people taking the trial, the more people could take a beating. Choose one.
Oh, God.
So we can fight a Venerator as a group, or choose a single person to face a Venerator. That is difficult. Because I feel like the worst that can happen is we'll lose a health point.
We are proving... Okay. One or all must face the trial. Iron sharpens iron. So they are not requiring us to win this.
No.
They're requiring us to endure this.
I think that's right.
Is that right? So we may be more likely to actually win with all of us, but maybe we're risking everyone losing a hit point or something.
Yeah, it does say our masters demand a test of combat, which makes it seem like it's not a test of like sufferance; it's a test of martial prowess.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? I feel like if anyone goes alone, I know that your bear just did the last test, but it feels like they would be the best matched.
Yeah.
She could take a venerator, probably.
All right, I'm happy to have Elspbjorn do it on her own. You are led by the custodian into an adjacent hall with a large stone platform in the center. Beautiful murals depicting ancient battles from times long gone cover each wall, and massive marble statues placed uniformly around the room stand in silent vigil. Moments later, one of the robed giants enters, flanked by his attendants. As the men remove their master's robes, you see scars and religious symbols cover his bare upper body. Handing the venerator a blunted sword, his attendants then place a new hood over his head, all the while hiding his visage, before finally bowing away in prayer. It seems war and worship are one here. As the venerator climbs the steps to the top of the platform, his stare never leaves you. Choose an Oathsworn to attempt the trial. So we've chosen Elspbjorn.
I guess so. Are we confident on that? Do you still have at least one redraw left?
I have one.
Assuming this test? Okay. I think everyone else does have two, so there is...
Yeah.
There is that. That's the only real, basis I have to say anyone but the Ursus should do it.
I'm fine to have someone else do it.
No, it's up... I mean... I don't know. I think that the bear being our champion in this moment is thematically
right
the best call.
I mean, we could just say that it was the priest that did the previous challenge and give the
give a token to just retcon. It didn't actually matter who did it.
It didn't matter who did it on that one. Yeah.
That sure. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not mad about that.
All right. Here we go. To fall is to fail. Stay on the path, explains the custodian as he hands you a blunted sword and motions for you to climb the platform. The chosen Oathsworn performs a might check, difficulty 8, 7 if you are an Ursus.
I kind of wondered.
Yeah,
just
that's great.
because it's this giant figure and we have a giant figure on our side.
Yeah.
Would we be rewarded?
That's excellent.
We don't have any kind of perks that help you here. You are on your own.
Okay.
But I believe in you.
Thank you. Well, I do get this black
difficulty
card for might, right? Because it's a might check.
Do you? Sure.
Might.
Oh, it is. It is literally labeled might, isn't it? Yeah, that makes sense.
Should we double check?
That would be why. It's not even included as a potential talent too. Is that these work a little different?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It could be like a combat check. That might be the other.
There were combat checks, right?
Yeah.
It would be pretty silly if they label this section might and then it doesn't apply in a might check. I would criticize that word choice.
I would as well. Let me double check here.
Yeah, so the question is, there's perform a check.
Okay, it says, in addition, empowered 3x tokens may be used during any check called a might check.
Oh, so specifically empowered can be used here.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, what if you look up the section that talks about the might cubes in the first place?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, because even though we put out our cubes usually because we're setting up the game, are we equipped with a weapon during the story? Is the game actually? Yeah, it's let's see. Might cards are used at various times. The might decks have. This doesn't say to use them for might checks that I can see. Weird.
That is weird. It's weird that you can use empowered tokens.
Yeah. The one thing I will say against using the cube is that a difficulty 7 check is not difficult if you're using your might cubes.
That's true.
It's kind of a pushover.
Okay. Well, I'm fine.
Because we're hitting for 12 all the time in combat, right?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we're going to go for, 5 again?
5 worked out last time.
Do we reshuffle this? I don't think we should have.
I don't know. Did we reshuffle it, or did I just accidentally discard to the top?
That looks like a discard to the top.
I think that's what happened.
And there's a third blank. No, there wasn't. There was, though.
Oh, let's just shuffle them now. That'll be fine.
Okay.
We drew almost half the deck. So, even though we drew 3 blanks. All right.
I'm going to draw 5 and hope to get to 7. Let's see what we got here. 1, 3, 5.
There's a blank.
All right, so we're going to redraw a blank.
Okay. You're at 6.
So now I have to redraw again.
Redraw the other blank, I guess.
Yep.
Oh no!
That's all my redraws.
Oh. 6.
Brutal.
Damn.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I do get these back plus 1 token, right?
I think the determination rule applies here. Yeah.
I'm going to take an empowered token.
Okay.
Which I should honestly have a starting empowered token. Wait! I get a starting empowered token at the start of every encounter.
This is not an encounter. This is a story. Encounter is the other half of the... I think that's the word for the boss fight.
You stand before your adversary atop the platform. As the dance of battle begins, the Venerator strikes you like a bolt of lightning, unleashing a flurry of hammering blows. You grunt as you take a blow to your side, forced to give ground as the larger warrior drives you back to the edge. Sparks fly until your swords lock. You attempt to slow his advance, but are unable to overpower the Venerator as he sends you soaring off the platform, crashing onto the cold stone floor some 10 feet away.
Sorry, pal.
I have the health.
Yeah.
Okay. The custodian leans over your prone form. The trial is over, Oathsworn. You bore yourself well, and that is enough for now.
It's funny to me that seems to be how mechanically in a story when you get just like the shit beaten out of you, that's what happens. Lose 1 hit point.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes to show how deadly the things you find in the jungle really are.
I guess so. Yeah, that's so.
Or whatever they call the forest.
The woods. The Deepwood?
The Deepwood.
Yeah,
that's right.
I got there.
Right.
Okay.
Your group, along with Quintus, is led back into the dark hall where the remaining hulking suits of Venerator armor stand enshrined upon stone pillars. Walking past each of the relics, you find them richly adorned with candles, scrolls of text, and small offerings. The faith drives every Cistercian to perfection, and you can see it here. One thing the writing does that I've noticed a lot in this chapter is it spells out for you exactly what you're supposed to think. Like, when the guy closes the doors, it says, "Oh, I guess this is meant to be a private conversation." It's like, yeah, we can infer that, right? Like, you don't need to tell us that. Like,
it's a good point. It does
3 or 4 times.
It does hold your hand a little. Yeah.
All right. Your custodian escort eventually stops beside an empty pillar which has several lit candles and a stack of heavy tomes sitting atop it in place of the armor. A pair of custodians kneel in prayer before it, unaware of your presence. Logos, the armor of the word, the custodian escort informs you. He has not been seen in 3 days, nor have his attendants.
No, this is the missing person.
As you know, this is deeply concerning to us. Our masters are the embodiment of our faith, and the loss of even a single one brings shame upon us all. You now bear that shame as well, Oathsworn. Let us pray you are strong enough to carry it. As the custodian speaks, you inspect the shrine. Perform a spot check, difficulty 5.
Okay.
Do we have a spot bonus?
That is one that can be upgraded, but we have not.
Okay. Would you like to take this test?
Sure. I feel like my Avi would have sharp eyes.
Sure.
So, difficulty 5. Well, did you draw 3 blanks? Now that we properly kept the deck in the discard, 3 blanks are gone. I was thinking about drawing only 4 cards, but I think I will push it a little bit to 5. Blank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a crit, I'll roll a die.
Alright. If you succeed. The area around the shrine has been meticulously cleaned. Upon closer inspection, you notice a droplet of liquid on one of the candles that does not appear to be wax. You dab it with a finger and raise it to your nose. The substance has a strong chemical stink. Perhaps some sort of embalming fluid? You question the custodian, but he cannot offer an explanation for its presence and assures you that embalming fluid would not be used in the preservation of the armor. With nothing more to be gathered here, you decide to move on.
Wait, we're not going to check whether there's like a dead body in the armor?
We are not, I guess.
All right.
That is interesting. I mean, I was just thinking the armor had been there for so long. So, like, wouldn't that embalming fluid have been, like, scrubbed clean previously? It feels like something recent happened, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely...
Yeah, maybe they just put the body in there.
Is the morgue, like, upstairs and there's a leak in the ceiling?
Embalming fluid. That's very funny. Alright, I feel like I've been reading for a while, even though we're on the same location. Do you want to take over?
Sure.
Alright.
Accompanied by Quintus, you return to the great cathedral near the first steps of the ascent. There you find a train of pilgrims beginning their journey up the massive stairway into the heights of the mountain. Each of them walks in solemn awe of the majestic architecture, past the text carved on the walls, and into each step of the stairway beneath them. It looks like rain today, don't you think, Oathsworn? A quiet voice murmurs behind you. Turning, you see a man dressed in the white robes of the mendicants. Pillar and path, he says, touching a shaky hand to his forehead and releasing it. His gaze lingers fearfully on Quintus, standing just behind you. Leaning in, he speaks in hushed tones. May we speak privately? I need your help. And then there's buttons for if a priest is in your free company or not. So it is.
There you go.
I
love that we're getting a bunch of different things for the different characters in our party.
Yeah, that's true with the bear too. And this is the second time that the priest has mattered. It made our threaten check harder.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully this is a good thing.
The funny thing is we will never know what the other
path
was, so we don't know.
Well, you might when you replay this campaign.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. You know, in 2034 or
yeah,
something.
Right, exactly. The greeting used by the mendicant is one you know well. To speak of the coming rain is a secret reference used by your brothers and sisters in the low church to identify one another when in the presence of outsiders. This man, like you, is a follower of the way. I think you being directed at the priest.
Yeah.
And that's the way, be it capital T, capital W, the way. To risk exposure with the Lord Marshal's adjutant nearby, it must be of dire importance. It is not too difficult to break free of Quintus and find out what the mendicant needs. You tell Quintus that you wish to pray before continuing with the investigation, and ask that he wait here while you do so. Mingling with the huge crowd of pilgrims and supplicants, you slip out of sight and find a quiet alcove where you are able to converse with the mendicant. My name is Finian, he whispers. I represent an order of the true faithful who are prepared to help you. We know that you seek mendicants to aid with the plague in Varun, and there are many in our numbers. My order is not associated with the High Church or their corrupt doctrine, and we can provide the mendicants you require. All we ask is that you help us free my master, who has been unjustly sentenced to death. You ask him what crime his master stands accused of. No more than healing a sick child, he continues. The High Church decreed that all miracles have ceased. Anyone who attempts to perform such an act is said to have committed witchcraft. My master saved a child only to be betrayed by the boy's parents. Now the boy has been executed, and my master is set to be publicly tortured and burned at the stake tomorrow. If you're willing to help us, we pledge to provide all the mendicants you require. Please, he's a good man. Will you help us save him? 2 paths lay before you. Do you continue the search for the missing venerator, or do you help save the low church priest from execution? You know that you will not have time to do both. And this seems like a path A versus path B junction, right?
Sure
I think that when it says 2 paths lay before you, that's what that means. I mean, because we have the priest, and I'm curious whether this, I'm referring to it as path B, I don't know, but I'm curious whether this path would be available at all if we didn't have a priest.
I think so.
You think so?
I do.
You think it would
I
just
think
be,
we would just
you just like word it a little differently?
Yeah, exactly. That's my guess.
Potentially.
Yeah. But I still do want to help save the mendicant.
Yeah, I agree. We're
of the same religious order. Yeah, exactly.
If your pals in the way, they're in the way. If your pals say that the High Church is corrupt and we should be helping their people, like, I'm on board.
I'm down.
Okay, so we're going to help save the mendicants. Thank you, Oathsworn. Thank you, Finian exclaims in hushed excitement. We must join the other members of my church to explain further. They are currently awaiting our arrival under the aqueducts at the third arch behind the cathedral. We must take different routes so as not to raise suspicion. I'll meet you there. With a relieved smile, Finian hurries off. Archive, Ally Card 19. Oh, we are abandoning Quintus. Man, and we had just looked at how good a fighter he was.
Yeah.
Take the Path B card.
Which we don't need to actually do.
Too late. I did it.
All right, there we go.
We're on Path B. Have we ever done a Path B?
I don't know.
I don't think we have.
Maybe not. Yeah. I feel like we have.
Place location token 15 and go there.
Yes, sir.
So that's the aqueducts.
Okay.
Slipping away from Quintus is easier than expected, and you reach the location Finian described without any trouble. The area seems to be less frequented by people, making it the ideal spot for a discreet meeting. You find the small group of individuals dressed in simple garb gathered beside one of the aqueduct's massive pillars. They're clearly nervous, constantly looking over their shoulders and avoiding eye contact with passers-by. These must be the people you're here to meet with. Your approach sets them on edge as they turn anxiously. Acknowledging you, one of them speaks. What brings you out on a day like this? Looks like rain, don't you think? And again, there's a button for if there's a priest, so we have a priest. Your priest gains a redraw token.
Excellent.
Wow. To wash away our sins, you reply. The men and women nod in deference, and a sense of relief washes over them. It has been years since you left Sestercia and took the oath, yet you still feel the pull of fellowship here. They warmly welcome you and your company and thank you for your assistance. Ah, you've already arrived, Finian says as he joins the group. He motions for you to follow him. Come, there's a place nearby where we can speak more privately. There's food and drink as well. I'm sure you've not had the chance to eat since arriving. Finally, someone considers our
needs.
Need for lunch.
Yeah, although I'm suspicious of that. You want us to eat? Like, you care about us?
Yeah, I guess probably like 80% of the food in this world is poisonous. So.
Right.
Everyone seems to be trying to kill or at least ruin each other's day here.
Exactly.
From the exterior of the small, unassuming home, one would never guess that beneath this single-story abode is a secluded meeting hall large enough to hold a regiment. You share warm ale and a stew of fresh vegetables with your hosts while listening to tales of the religious injustice they're constantly subject to. It seems there are two factions in the faith. One holds all the cards and is not afraid to play them in order to remain dominant. The High Church has intensified their attacks on us as of late. More and more of our brothers and sisters are apprehended every day to be tortured. Finian pauses, exchanging a knowing glance with his friends. Despite being hunted like prey, a sentiment you know well, these people are clearly anchored by their faith. Your timing is fortunate. Many seek a new start beyond the city walls. We know of your purpose here in Sestercia. Word of the plague in Varum has reached our city. Our mendicants can help, and we are prepared to return to Varum with you. However, before we leave, we must ask one thing of you. Help us free Father Pyron. He is the one who gathered us, and more than a few of us owe him our lives thanks to his miracles. We cannot leave without him. We can choose one. Only if any character has an injury card, ask to be healed.
Yeah.
Or ask the members if they have a plan to free Pyron.
So, I mean, I do have an injury card, but I don't know if we'd prefer to get the information rather than heal the injury card.
I'm not 100% sure this is mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I feel like we should take advantage of the healing if they're offering.
Great. No more gut rot for me.
Yeah. Well, let's click the button and see what it says to do.
All right.
It could be that they say, suck it and punch you in the gut and you have a second one.
Okay. Sure. Seems unlikely, but...
Instruction. Each Oathsworn chooses whether to ask for healing or not. At least one Oathsworn must choose to be healed.
And so am I the only one with an injury?
I don't think either of mine have an injury. And I think you... got one on another character once, and it was like the lucky draw that didn't stick.
Right.
So just the one.
Yep.
And who is it? Is it Mediolius?
Yeah.
Okay. So just he will ask for healing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Unless you want to ask on the Ursus and see if it gets you your hit point back.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So those two ask for healing. Okay. All Oathsworn learn to accept pain as a fact of life, but they do not seek it out or turn down something that may alleviate it. If these people possess some kind of ability to knit you back together, you are more than willing to give it a try. Yes, of course, Finian smiles after you ask about healing. Father Pyron has the gift of more than any of us, but Norik here has it too. He motions to a young man dressed in the white robes of a mendicant. You are naturally wary of anything unusual, yet eyeing the man, your inquisitiveness gets the better of you. Norik places a hand on you, and what happens next, you cannot explain. All Oathsworn that chose to be healed lose one injury card. Okay. Place it in the injury deck and reshuffle it. Didn't seem to have any upside to what the others not asking. You know?
I think it just said injury cards like earlier, so we should have known not to ask for else.
Yeah, I guess
we're gonna get something else bad.
I just thought it was weird that it let everyone decide whether to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's gonna matter or what. You're left speechless and strangely exhausted, hungry even. Smiling with an understanding nod, Finian refills your bowls and begins to explain the rescue plan for Father Pyron. So we're still getting their plan.
Yeah, totally.
Now I've been reading while you want to take back over? Because I can see this is a long one.
All right. Were you doing an Irish accent for Finian?
Or? He started out whispering and I kind of just kept half whispering. That's all I was doing, I think.
Okay. Father Pyron is being held in the dungeons beneath the tribunal hall, Finian explains. He will be executed tomorrow. You must free him before then. There can be no deaths, no detection. Oh,
You tell.
Yeah, you tell him.
I don't
there
feel-
could be no deaths, no detection, you tell Finian.
I don't feel like the writing has put words in her mouth very often.
Yeah.
But it did there.
That is strange. You explain that if you were caught in the dungeons, or worse, if someone were to die, it would set off a political crisis between your two cities. Whatever happens has to be clean. If you have to choose between being detected and abandoning the mission, you must choose the latter. Finian nods. We can expect no more of you. In that case, gaining access to the dungeons is the easy part. Getting to Father Pyron's cell, however, will be difficult. In order to reach him, you must ascertain the guard assignments and patrol routes of the 3 cell blocks where the prisoners are held.
Oh boy.
The dungeons are large and ill-lit. If you know the guard's patrol routes, you should be able to get past them. He looks at you as though he had just described a trip to the market. Clearly he has more faith in Holdings off than you do. Finian continues, one of the prison guards, Cecilia, is a sister of ours. She lives on one of the communal farms and should be able to help you. There is also the proctor, adds a confident, raven-haired woman. If you're able to locate him, he may possess information concerning the guard assignments. Despite the possible pitfalls going through your mind, you can see how it can be done. Helping these people in order to secure what you came for seems a fair bargain, and Finian will join you, ensuring the pact. As you put down your empty bowl of stew, you choose to trust their word and give yours in return. Not long after, you head out of the hall to receive a blessing from those gathered. May she light your way. Knowing the shadows are your ally here, for your sake, you hope she doesn't. Open mystery envelope V.
Whoa! We need to... Wait, is that in this? I think it's in this box I have off to the side. The small mystery envelopes, assuming it's one of these.
It is
V.
one of those.
Here we go.
There you go. And place the 3 cards face down next to each other on the table. You need to find as many of the 3 maps of the Tribunal Hall dungeon as you can before sunset.
I assume that this...
Just as put next to each other.
But I was like, it said face down, and I was like, which way is that?
Oh.
But I think this is face down.
Oh, I actually have no idea.
No,
I
wait.
think it's probably the other way.
Oh no, these say do not reveal until told.
Yeah, whoops.
So wait.
I memorized them, but it's fine.
No, wait.
No, it says face down next to each other.
But which way is face down?
The other way.
Okay.
We're gonna
All
be
right.
like.
I see. Yeah.
No. The other way.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Because this is like a map of a dungeon that we're gonna like use. Probably. I'm guessing.
All right.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Oh, because it does say you're trying to find the maps. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Gain ally card 20, which is Finian. You want to grab Finian out here? And add Deepwood event card 32 to your Deepwood event deck, and City card event 30 to the City event deck.
Okay.
So we have our decks over here.
Yeah. So sorry. Deepwood event what?
Deepwood event 32.
Oh,
and
okay.
City event 30.
Got it.
And we have Finian here. Finian. Oh, well. I don't know how promising this looks. He's like a hooded man in a black robe, and you can't see his eyes or anything.
All right.
All right. Place location tokens 10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, and 28.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So here's 28. It goes here. And then... Okay.
I'll take a stack and try and help here. We've got 17,
12, 13,
18,
14.
19, and 28.
I got 28 already.
Oh, great. Okay. Do we have them all?
10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So 8 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're good.
Great. Choose one. If you're ready to start the prison break, choose the top option. Otherwise, choose a location to go to.
We should probably go somewhere. Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, man.
I'll hand this
Okay.
to you, and then let's look at our options here for a second. So we know we got a lead in the communal farm.
Right.
So
And
that's 19.
I half expected it, since there are 2 locations called Communal Farm, I half expected it to give them both to us, but it gave us a specific one. So
That's nice.
Yeah.
Although maybe that means it's at the other one. There's the Tribunal Halls. We have the Marketplace, St. Josephus's Cathedral, and the Banksmith. Which now, I'm wondering when sunset is. Because it looks like, I mean, I don't know if we're really supposed to rely on this, but right here It is like the first thing that's on the sunset side here.
Oh,
and it says,
interesting.
if on path B, go to this place in the story.
Yeah, we've never really paid attention to, like, it has these, like, phases of day on here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So this might tell us that we only have until here, or it might tell us, no, you're done.
I'm guessing, I think we should start to assume that is the limit.
So we might not have time to go to the banksmith.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. We got. We do have full bags we wanted to sell.
A lot of stuff. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also have items that we're pretty happy with right now.
We can see how it goes.
Okay. And I've been sitting here shuffling the city event deck because I can see that no matter where we go next, we're going to do a city event on the way.
Right.
So do we go to the communal farm?
That seems like a good starting point. Was there another location mentioned in there? No, right? That was the only one? Or was the Tribunal Hall also mentioned?
Let's see.
Well, the prison guard Cecilia.
She lives on the communal farms. There's also the proctor. If you're able to locate him, he may possess information concerning the guard assignments, but not actually any information about where to find the proctor. That looks like it.
Okay. All right. The proctor might be at this Order of Towers. I mean, that would make some sense to me, but I'm down to go. Or the Order of Dragons.
That sounds badass.
It does sound badass. Should we go to the farm, though?
I feel like we might as well go farming.
All right, sure. Yeah. So we're going to read the event, right?
Okay, yeah, so here. Cut the deck, and whatever's on top will be what we do. All right, give us number 10.
A burly old man shouts at you from a nearby table littered with empty mugs. He goads you relentlessly until you finally walk over to see what he wants. He challenges you to an arm wrestle for a pint. Do you accept the man's challenge or decline?
I mean, I've never been one to turn down an arm wrestling match.
All right. Who's doing it? Is it going to be the Warbear? Because she's probably got the biggest arms, or do you want to have someone else do it? Ranger probably has some bow strength.
Ranger's got that arm strength too.
I'm fine with that.
Sure, yeah, she hasn't stepped up yet this story. Let's do it.
The man smiles and points to the seat across from him. It's been a while since I've had the pleasure of testing an Oathsworn. The name's Rusik. Each Oathsworn may place a bet of 1, 3, or 6 iron on who will win. Then choose one Oathsworn to wrestle the man. That Oathsworn performs a might check of difficulty 6, 5 if you're an Ursus.
Damn it!
Well, it does say you choose after, so we didn't have to choose yet. So we can let the Ursus do it. If you fail, lose any iron bet. If you win, gain as much iron as you bet.
It's true. It's actually the same thing happened in that story beat about the fight. Was like all we were actually deciding is will someone do it, and we kind of talked it out, but then it prompted us later to actually decide
who.
Anyway,
yeah. I'm gonna bet 6 on myself with the Ursus.
Yeah, let's have the Ursus do it. I mean, we're all I think
everyone's gonna bet 6.
Everyone's gonna bet 6.
We're betting 6.
We're betting 24.
Don't fuck this up. I do have this might die, which I can use because this is a might check.
Yeah, the empower token. Yeah,
it's probably worth it for what are we talking about? 24 coin.
Here's the thing: is that we've on the white deck. There's only 6 cards left, but how many blanks have we drawn? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've drawn 4 blanks. Okay, so it's regular odds for the blanks. I was gonna say if we know that there's like less than average blanks in the white deck, then why would you want to draw from the yellow deck? Right. But I guess we don't know that. I think we know. There's 6 cards left?
Yeah.
Hang on.
We can just know exactly what those are if we want.
If you draw, well, that's true. I was going to say, if you draw 5 of them and you get 2 blanks, you know for a fact that you'll be redrawing a non-blank.
But is that enough for 5? Oh yeah, probably.
Do you want to peek and shuffle since it's technically known information and that's easier than card counting the discard pile? Sure. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a crit. 6, 7. There's plenty there.
Great. All right. Let's do it. Let's draw 5.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go.
Hopefully I don't have to spend a token.
That'd be nice.
Hey!
Oh, wow! Okay.
And you know what? I'll draw this one.
Draw for the crit. Smart.
And then I'll roll the other one.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Well done. All right, so... I was starting to look at the iPad, but no, we're looking at the...
We each are going to get 6 gold. $6 per person.
Wow, really? Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's very good.
24 additional dollars.
I'll find some time to play with the money.
Okay, so let's keep going.
Keep the story going. Yeah,
sure.
So we went to the communal farm.
We sure did. And this event doesn't say... Oh, archive this event. Oh, no. It says B archive this event, but it doesn't say for A to archive the
You
event.
know what? Part of me wondered if we had done this one before. It seemed familiar. So does it stays shuffled into the deck until we turn it down?
That's weird.
It is weird. We can archive it if we don't want to.
We don't need to do that again.
We don't need to do it a million times. Yeah. We're too good at it. We would have
we're too rich.
It's an infinite money glitch.
That's right. That's right.
Break
That's
the
right.
game.
It's a
Yeah. Okay, we're at location 19. Fields stretch out before you. You're not used to being able to see this kind of distance without deepwood trees or walls blocking your view. The effect feels strange, almost relaxing. But you know better than to do that. Relax, I guess. How Sestercia came by such land is a question that remains unanswered. It does not seem to have the same overpopulation that similar cities suffer. Everything about this place makes you a little uneasy. When things seem too good to be true, they usually are. Stopping next to a field of corn, you ask a middle-aged farmer if he knows Cecilia, the woman Finian told you about. Following his instructions, you find the woman at her home tending a patch of vegetables. You approach the young, stout woman and greet her with the code. Looks like rain today, friend. Clearly surprised, she replies, to wash away our sins. After introducing yourselves as Oathsworn, you tell her about the dire situation with Father Pyron and how Finian suggested that she might provide information to help free him. Specifically, you ask her to describe the guard routes and stations within the dungeon in order to find a route past them. I'm sorry, I can't, she responds. If I'm caught, they'll execute me for sure. My children have already lost their father. I won't orphan them. So we choose one. Tell her Father Pyron's blood will be on her hands if she does not act.
Harsh.
Assure her no one will find out she provided the information. Or threaten to turn her over to the Inquisition if she refuses to help.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm down to just assure her. She seems nice.
And we're good at
Persuasion?
barter, threat, and reason. And so, yeah, assure her is hopefully reason?
No.
You don't think so?
I'm going to guess that if that's what we're good at, we should probably need to threaten her to get the bonus, if we want the bonus.
But
I don't want to threaten her.
no, I don't either. That doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So we can guilt her, which also could fall under reason. Tell her Father Pyron's blood will be on her hands.
Maybe.
Or, I think I lean towards that. Sure. I worry that the middle one, the assure her no one will find out, that because there's no, there's nothing like dark or kind of cringe, like nothing that makes you feel a little bad about it. It feels like the weakest one to me.
Okay, sure.
I feel like we should do something that feels wrong.
That's fine.
Okay. You don't know if you'll succeed here, but you won't get another chance at that information. Perform a reasoning check. Difficulty 4. Okay, and so reasoning is one that since we're quick-witted, we have a bonus redraw on.
Okay.
So this should be pretty easy. Should I just take it with the Harbinger?
Yeah.
Okay, she has 2 redraws if we need them, but I'll just draw 4 cards.
Seems very safe.
1, 2, 3, blank, and crit. I'll roll the crit, so
Great.
we've done it. If you succeed, Cecilia lowers her eyes toward the dirt at her feet. These hands already have enough blood on them. Blessed Mother knows I don't need more, she adds, with regret in her voice. You reassure her and she finally agrees to help. She describes in detail the layout of the dungeon room she's assigned to. Reveal the triangle prison break card.
There we go.
We've done it. Okay. And there's like a dotted line, like a family circle style route on here.
Yeah, and there's like little lights that seem to be showing like areas where you can't look, or where you might be seen. I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder if there will actually be gameplay.
I'm curious.
This.
I'm
Yeah,
curious
we'll
whether
see.
we will need to. Yeah.
They're gonna be like open up envelope X, and it's gonna be like a tiny little version of this.
Yeah,
Just,
that we
like,
move
fit on
around
the
the
map,
prison. Yeah. It just turns into a game of Burgle Bros.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Break out your copy of Burgle Bros.
Honestly, I wonder if there's anything there. A product that uses that's like, to play this full campaign, you will need these other 4 board games in your collection, and it uses them as scenarios in this overarching campaign.
I've thought about that many times.
Have you?
I think there's something with Armada and X-Wing where you can like have a little skirmish.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I've thought about that a bunch. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, choose one. If you're ready to start the prison break, choose the top option. Otherwise, choose a location to go to. I assume we're going to another location?
I think so.
Okay. Well, that was kind of our lead. She didn't mention anything about this Proctor.
No. Proctor sounds like a librarian, right? What is a proctor? It's like a test.
I think of
maybe the tribunal.
Yeah, in real life, I think of proctor as someone who like administers standardized tests.
Right.
I don't know what that translates to here.
Right.
It definitely could be at the tribunal hall, I guess.
Or one of the orders, maybe.
Yeah, we've got Order of Towers, Order of Dragons, both available to visit. The Great Library is not an option.
No.
Uh,
I'm torn between tribunal halls and one of the two orders.
I'm gonna defer to you because I think I was one who chose the farm.
Oh, wow. Only because I can't distinguish between the two orders, I'm going to pick the tribunal hall.
Okay, fair enough. So we are going to 12.
Yeah.
All right, location 12. Here you go.
The tribunal halls are heavily trafficked at this time of day, with a number of citizens milling about, either awaiting or leaving court proceedings. Oh, it's like a judiciary. As
Yeah, that's what
Oathsworn,
a
you
tribunal
lack...
is, isn't it?
Yeah, but okay. As Oathsworn, you lack the anonymity of the average citizen and would quickly be spotted if you attempt to enter the building now. It would be best to come back after dusk. However, you may be able to use the chaotic scene to eavesdrop on the guards around each entrance.
Ooh.
Perform a listening check, difficulty 4. Add 1 to your result if the cur is with you. So the cur is a good listener.
That's funny that it's funny that sometimes it modifies the difficulty and other times it modifies your result, which aren't those the same thing?
It is weird.
Okay, well we don't have the cur. The
We
cur is the
don't.
one that we were talking earlier about. We were maybe going to mix up our characters. The cur is like the top of your list to play, isn't it? It sounded like it.
I haven't played the cur yet, and I really liked the witch, but the witch is really complicated.
Yeah.
It changes the game a lot, so I kind of want to bring in the cur. Anyway.
Okay, listening check. Just 4. So I feel pretty good about almost any of us doing this.
You want to arrange it, or do you want the priest to do it?
I could do it with the ranger. Ranger would be a good listener, you would think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's got to listen for whatever she hunts. All right, how are we...
It's interesting that it mentions coming back after dusk. Like, I wonder if that's, like, this is dusk, or I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. Okay, I think 4 cards again should be good for a 4 difficulty. 2, 3, 4, and a blank. Perfect.
Perfect. If you succeed. Mingling near a larger group of citizens, you're able to listen in on a conversation between a pair of passing patrol guards. They mention their proctor has rearranged the guard assignments so he can attend mass today, preferring it to tomorrow with the commoners. The proctor most likely possesses additional information about guard schedules and routes. Perhaps you could find him at the afternoon mass held in the cathedral. So it tells us to go to the cathedral.
Okay.
But it doesn't say that the cathedral is now an option. And
The St. Joseph's Cathedral already was, so I assume that's
right.
the one in question.
So you want to follow that?
I think so.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to 14.
Here you go.
The golden spires of St. Josephus Cathedral are visible throughout the city. You arrive just as Mass is about to begin. Crowds of nobles, monks, and ecclesia file inside. Among them, you see a group of guardsmen led by a man dressed like an officer of some sort. They each wear the sigil of the Tribunal Hall Guard. As you're about to follow them into the church, you spot a familiar face scanning the crowd. The Lord Marshal's adjutant, Quintus.
Oh no!
Jaw clenched, he is clearly searching for you. You look for a safe path through the crowd.
Wow, this is a good story so far.
It is. Perform a spot check. Difficulty 6, add 1 to the result. Kerr was with you. Kerr's good at sticking around. Or sneaking around. Okay. We're going for a 6 on a spot check. That's pretty tough.
6 is tough.
Who's gonna do it?
I have 2 redraws on each of my characters. I noticed that your ranger has... sorry. I thought that battle flow was another redraw. So we all have 2. So
We all have 2, yeah.
There's really no choice to be made here. It's the same regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll do it.
Sure.
I'll do it with the Harbinger.
Sure.
I feel like you're not, like... You might, when you fail tests, you might lose a hit point, and I don't want the Warbear to lose more hit points.
That's
not
fair.
not that there's anything about this test that sounds like you would, but you just...
You never know.
Yeah, and you're not going to gain a hit point.
Right.
So, okay, we're looking for a 6, so this is going to be...
And what's in here?
Only 2 blanks.
2 blanks.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Out of 7 cards.
So
8
just a little worse than average. There's an above average amount of blanks in this deck right now. That sucks. I could do dice.
You could.
Dice have better odds than this right now, at least of hitting.
Right.
Right? At least not
Right.
getting the 2 blanks.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's your call.
Oh man.
Oops.
I'm gonna roll.
All right.
Roll.
All right.
I need to go. We don't have the dice on the table because we use them so rarely. So again,
Okay.
I gotta get up. I know where they are.
Wow. Quite the moment. Man, what happens if Quintus spots us? It's going to be interesting.
He joins our cause and we have an ally.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's what'll happen.
Alright, white dice, white dice, white dice. How many should I roll? 5?
I don't know.
I think it's gotta be 5.
For test result of 6?
Yeah.
I mean, you
But
could
not
roll 4.
looking to not miss.
Because you could roll 4, and then at least 2 of them would have to be 2s.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll 5.
Alright.
Here we go. Well, there's a crit. Okay. 5 with a crit. Let me grab one more. Right? Or do I want to draw? No, I still think the roll is better odds than the cards. 6!
That'll do it.
All
Incredible.
according to plan. I knew it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you knew it. You were right. Wow.
I knew it would work.
I love that you brought the dice out. That's great.
It felt like time to actually roll some dice.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, I succeeded. You use the massive throng of people to conceal your movement into the cathedral, while keeping a watchful eye on Quintus. Fortunately, as the densely packed crowd begins to thin, Quintus continues his search elsewhere.
Great.
Slipping in at the back, you are able to take a seat in the pew directly behind the officer. Resting at his feet, you notice an open satchel with a journal inside. The journal might provide needed details of the patrol guards and their routes. You decide it is worth the risk to try to abscond with it, but you're going to need a distraction to pull this off. You know that if you don't succeed here, you won't get another chance at that information. I like, we're going to hit this button for the game instructions, but I can see below it the button that says if both checks succeed, so it's going to be a lot.
Tough, yeah.
Choose an Oathsworn to cause the distraction. The chosen Oathsworn performs a reasoning check 3, difficulty 3. Choose a different Oathsworn to grab the satchel. The chosen Oathsworn performs a survival check, difficulty 4, 3 for your cur. Okay, so they're not too hard.
No, they're not.
Which two?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, reasoning, we have the bonus on reasoning too, right? The free redraw.
Thank you. Yes, we do on reasoning. Okay, so that's pretty damn easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. So, I mean, I don't care about
that. Feels like a good one to burn some cards on then.
I agree.
to try to get through this deck.
I agree.
So
I'm happy to have the priest do that if you want. Or I
yeah,
can
go
do
for
the
it.
other one.
Thematically, I think he'd be best at causing a distraction without being,
It's a reasoning, so clearly he's like talking to him. To,
Yeah,
like, distract him.
right.
All right, so I'm going to draw 4, I think.
Sure.
Thinking that I can get through some cards here. 2 blank, 2 crit blank.
And you can
We get a
redraw,
free redraw.
Blank with our trait. Yeah. Perfect.
And that'll do it, and I'll just... Oh, should I draw
Oh,
this?
well, let's see.
Well,
Now,
there's how many 5 cards left in the deck.
And there's still 2 blanks in there. Yeah, I say burn through the cards.
Yeah, so I'll burn... Well, I burned a 1.
Ah.
All right.
Okay. Choose a different Oathsworn to grab the satchel. The chosen Oathsworn performs a survival check. We don't have any.
So now
bonuses
with
to
this known information, we know that in here there are 2 blanks, a 1, and a 2 crit.
Which is not enough on the known numbers. Well, but if we redraw, yeah, I think we just draw those 4 cards and redraw one. Like I can do that with the Avi. I don't know, someone who
Sure.
has a redraw token.
Whomever you wish. So you're going to draw
All
these
right,
4.
I think give me the 4. Yeah. Okay, I will redraw one of them. Oh, now I need a quick shuffle.
Yeah.
And hey, now we're shuffling up this deck without those 2 blanks in it.
That's interesting.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, that's how that works, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think it would ask us to memorize those and shuffle them back in and then potentially redraw the same cards.
Yeah.
I don't think. Especially memorize that there was a crit there and all that.
Yeah.
I guess it is also possible the rule could be like you must just roll dice. Like
That'd be
if the deck runs out mid.
I don't think it
mid-test,
says that,
yeah,
though.
I don't think so
Yeah.
either. Okay, so on the redraw, cut the deck. A 1, that's 4, right? That's
Yeah,
good.
and
Okay,
then
and
the
the
crit you
crit,
can
yeah, I'll roll. Doesn't
Because that
matter.
deck's very good now.
Yep, it is. Okay. Great. I feel like we navigated that very well.
We sure did.
Both checks succeeded. The plan is executed to perfection. One of you creates a distraction. It is subtle enough to not raise suspicion, just enough to draw attention away from your comrade, who snatches the satchel while you slip away without the officer noticing. Regrouping outside, you inspect its contents and find a few papers along with the journal. Upon review of the ledger, you find what you need. Reveal the Circle prison break card. Okay. It's a different layout, but otherwise looks like a similar kind of set of routes and lights and things as the first.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready to start the prison break, or do we want to choose a location to go to? It seems like we have at least 2 more time.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But we don't have any more leads, right?
No leads. Well, we didn't have any leads then either. We heard about the proctor, but we didn't really know where he'd be.
Yeah.
So we could go to the statue of Justinia.
It's very central, right? Like it seems like a place to like overhear something, or
the marketplace would be. Although the marketplace might be.
Yeah, the market. So the banksmith is obviously like
That's
where you
where we
shop
buy
and stuff. Is
yeah.
the marketplace anything specific?
I don't think so. I think the marketplace you can just. I don't think.
Yeah.
Do we have the ability to send a runner? By the way, do we unlock that?
Oh, is that a trait? Do you have to unlock that?
Or can you just pay for it? No. Oh yeah.
It costs iron. I think you have to pay the scenario number in iron.
So before we get out of here, I'm probably going to send a runner to buy some like because one black cube. I'm sure there's better stuff in there. We have so much money.
I don't know if there is better stuff in the common items right now than a black cube, but
right. We can find out.
As far as cubes alone, like they'll have a variety of effects, and maybe one will be one you prefer. But
yeah.
Okay, so where are we going now? I
don't think we decided. I think I decided on this tribunal thing, and then this was no choice at all. So
that's true. Yeah. Damn it. Are the orders... So far we haven't been to the orders. I feel like one or both of the order of the dragons and the towers is going to be part of the story.
Do you think that one of these two locations might direct you to the proper order? Or do you think you just take a shot at...
But I think... you use the same amount of time checking both orders as going somewhere hoping for a lead. So
true.
And the Order of Towers sounds more like someone who would know something about imprisonment than the Order of Dragons. So I'm thinking we go there.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, and that's a city event on the way.
Here we go.
Do you want to cut that deck?
Yep. Or do you want to cut it?
I'll cut it.
Great. Here you go.
Number 27. If Brevik is not part of your company anymore, archive this event card and draw another. Boy, who are our allies? You have.
Is this our allies?
I think they're in there.
Yes.
That's our Brevik.
Brevik. Yep. Number one on top.
Okay. All right. So this is clearly a Brevik event, and we are resolving it.
Yep.
The poor are all around you in the city. Traveling along, you catch Brevik occasionally passing out coins to them. When an old man approaches you, Brevik intercedes and says, "I couldn't help my own family, but I can help these people." Do you give Brevik the iron to help the family, which requires half the chapter number in iron? Or do you refuse Brevik? I think we have the money to give four iron.
Yeah.
I think
one per guy, so we'll just get five.
We still owe ourselves 24. Okay. Okay, so we're digging into we're putting this on our tab.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Brevik is glad for your help. He hands the iron over to the old man, who thanks you profusely and hobbles off. Just before he disappears, you see the old man straighten his back and run off. Not everyone is as they appear in the city. Lose the iron. That's it.
Well, and that goes away?
It doesn't say to, but it's gotta, right?
Right, it must.
Yeah.
Unless Brevik, it's just like Brevik and that old man again. And we have to decide again, like, no, Brevik, this has happened before. Like, we're not going to give you the money. Okay, anyway.
I glanced at the B, because it's a small card, how could I not? What happens if we just decline the money? It's also bad.
Oh,
so it's not like there's a right choice there.
Bummer.
Okay. So, we are going to 28, right? I already put it on the track. We just need to choose it. And tell us about the Order of Towers.
The foundation upon which the security of the Justinian religion rests is the Order of Towers. Wow, that is a badly written sentence. The Order of Towers is the foundation upon which the security of the Justinian religion rests. Isn't that better?
Yeah, you're
okay. In faithful representation of that duty...
The direct object of the sentence was at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In faithful representation of that duty, the massive building is constructed from huge blocks of white stone and accented by ornately carved pillars around the perimeter. It is a veritable fortress in its own right. The brothers and sisters of the Order of Towers stand guard over the citadel as well as all religious sites in the city. Donned in heavily reinforced armor and wielding deadly halberds, these warriors project the power and might of the church, reminding the faithful and heretics alike of the consequences dissent brings. Approaching the entrance, you are met by two guardsmen who coldly stare you down from behind the column-like visors of their polished helms.
Why does everyone always coldly stare at us?
Yeah, it's so true.
I just want one warm stare.
Oh. Something bad's about to happen.
Uh-oh.
Before you speak, you spot a group of officers inside the order hall making their way toward the main entrance. Amongst the group is the familiar face of the Lord Marshal's adjutant, Quintus.
He's back again?
He's here.
He's everywhere!
Perform a spot check, difficulty 5.
Oh, here's your 5 coins per character, by
Thank
the
you
way.
so
That I got
much.
out
Thank
while
you,
you
thank you.
read.
Can we just bribe him? God.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a spot check, difficulty 5 here.
Okay. I feel like I've done the last couple checks.
I'm happy to do one.
Okay.
You're setting me up for failure, though. All right, so we got... I'm going to have the priest do it.
We feel like the
Actually,
deck's
no.
in good shape.
I'm going to have the Ursus do it. Is the
Okay.
deck in good shape?
I think so.
There's slightly...
Yeah, two blanks out of
5 instead
five.
of 6.
Yeah.
So it's slightly better. All right, difficulty 5, so I'm going to draw 5.
Okay.
No, I'm going to draw 4. That makes sense, right?
Difficulty 5. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to draw 4.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice. Whoa. Burned all our crits, thanks.
Yeah, should I just...
Yeah, I think burn through the deck now.
Yeah, because there's no crits left. There you go.
Hell yeah.
All right, we did it.
Okay.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right, if you succeed, you move quickly out of sight of Quintus and make your way for the bridge that leads back into the city, frequently glancing behind you as you make your escape. Thankfully, you were able to spot Quintus before he spotted you and have fled the area unnoticed. Ooh. So we got nothing for that. Now it says, if you're ready to start your prison break, choose the top option. Otherwise, choose a location to go to.
Well, so that was a bust.
That was a bust.
I mean, is the Order of Dragons going to be any better?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess that's true. We were speculating that one is the right one and the other is a bust.
Yeah.
Which could just be exactly what's happening.
Should we follow through?
It's your turn to pick.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I want us to have all 3 of these. I don't know. You have heard of the Order of Dragons. Just like you, they are hunters. If their stories are true, damn good ones too. They may know of the Venerator, and perhaps they know what kind of creatures attacked you on the road outside of Verum.
That's not what we're looking for.
No, it's not. This doesn't feel good. Well, let's see what happens. You enter the hall and are greeted... Oh, wait. I just read the last one, so if you'd like to read.
That's true. It was short, either way. Yeah. You enter the hall and are greeted by a colossal monster skull suspended in the center of the room. With teeth as long as your arm, it shares a similar morphology to that of a snake or lizard, only 100 times larger. I wonder what it could be. It's a real mystery. Wait, the very next word has our answer. Dragon, comments a stout bearded man as he flips through a large book. At least that's the name they gave it. The records say this one was already dead when it was discovered. Nothing like it has ever been seen alive in recorded history. Something about it reminds you of the beast that sacked Bastogne. The man returns the book to the shelf and looks to the marks on your wrists. Oathsworn, what brings you here? You first inquire if anyone has seen a Venerator pass through. The man assures you they have not. This seems like it's part of the search for the other one.
It does.
Like we're accidentally on path A.
Yeah, it does.
Whether that was like a intentional or not for the game to make this an option,
I don't think
we're on the wrong path.
Yeah.
The man assures you they have not. Then you take out the sample of flesh you retrieved from the unknown horrors, presenting it to him. You explain you are also looking for information about a pack of creatures you encountered on your way to Cistercia. The strange flesh piques the man's interest as he takes the sample carefully in hand. Come with me. Perform a search check, difficulty 6.
6, eh?
6A.
Might be time to break those dice back out.
You could. There are 7 cards left in the deck.
And so
I think 2 blanks among them.
Should we just learn what they are? Is 7 too many to just look? I don't know. It's always weird.
I feel like 5 is
known
never where you
info.
look. It's been pretty good shape. There's a lot of flat 2s in there, actually.
Yeah,
There's just
pretty good.
two blanks.
That seems doable.
So, I mean, you could...
draw 5.
Again, draw 6.
Six
Six of them with a redraw in your pocket. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
Who's going to do it? It really just matters on who would end up spending a redraw. Yeah.
It looks like... well, I'm happy to have the just do it.
Okay. We'll allow it. So you're drawing 6?
Yep.
Okay.
How many blanks are in here?
Okay, so we know that the remaining card is a blank.
There you go.
And you pass. Shelves of... oh, wait, there's instruction. All Oathsworn gain a battle flow token.
Excellent.
Shelves of sample jars and glass cases with dead specimens of Deepwood creatures take up an entire wing of the Order Hall. As you search them, you recognize some. Most conjure memories of battles past and the scars that came with them. Your description of the encounter with the whip-armed horrors sends the men rifling through dozens of volumes with written accounts of various beasts. After some time, however, it becomes clear there's no record of them. This is strange, the man admits. There are few things we've yet to kill out there, and this appears to be one of them. There is more to the riddle as well. He places the sample on an examination table and sets up a device with metal arms housing a series of glass lenses. He adjusts the lenses just right and studies the specimen. Look here. Do you see how these two areas of skin are completely different? It's as though they came from two separate creatures. And these small holes here, running along this ridge, they appear to have been stitched. Whatever this is, it has been made.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's someone out there creating more creatures for the Deepwood?
Yeah, that's there. You'd think there'd be plenty out there.
And then we're back to start of the prison break or choose a location.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
That's a bummer.
But I'm glad that we got that little story bit.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fun. Yeah,
it's interesting. Should we go to the statue, or what do you want to do? I'm wondering if we hit this and
yeah,
they tell us we were.
I'm worried about. Yeah, I'm worried about letting that go by.
It might just be like you only have two more time or whatever.
When do you do it?
I think that's when the token goes down.
Like the events, it's before you actually get there.
Yeah, I think so.
So we would find out before wherever we go. Yeah. I feel like if you do want to send a runner to the Banksmith, we do that now.
That doesn't take any time. I agree. Right. Let's do that. Right?
Sure.
So let me look up the rules for how to do that really fast.
Yeah, I think you're going to be paying 7, the chapter number, and then
just to send him.
I think so.
Oh, that's really expensive. I didn't realize that.
Because the perk said, the perk that we have not taken says it no longer costs any iron. And what other number would it cost? Everything costs. You're right. Everything in chapter 7 costs 7. Yeah.
You're right. So that is what it costs. Is it worth doing?
And we have a lot of money. I can help you. You know, like you
how does it work? Let me just double check. So sending a runner. Yeah, you just got to do a whole trade with them. So sure, let's do it. Why not?
Okay.
I'll pay the 7, and then we can fudge money later if we need to.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Let's actually just do 5 and 2, and we'll. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pay 3 off the priest because that will leave the priest with 14.
Well, you do that. This is all chapter 7 common items, right? Okay. We've got a heater shield, bardiche, a spike, a recurve bow, another bardiche, a warm fleece tunic, a consecrated skull. Some of these are duplicates. A cleaver, an ancient tome, banded mail. Hey, there's a 4 defense.
There you
go. Totem, Cistercian relic, weathered pouch, conquest sword, and evergreen staff. So, yeah, that banded mail is pretty interesting. It gets you up to a flat 4. Either of your characters can wear that.
Yeah.
And then its ability is after damage is drawn against you, force the enemy to redraw a card of your choice. That's also, I like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that to the bear because I like that the priest's armor, if I'm recalling correctly, helps the priest heal better. Let me double check. Put these in the front now. Where's the priest's armor?
Did you...
No,
there we go.
So it says, during the encounter, if there's an adjacent Oathsworn, gain 2 yellow for a basic check, which is how you heal.
Oh, and attack.
So I'm going to leave that on the priest. So I will spend 7 off the bear to grab that banded mail.
Cool.
We also want to sell a bunch of stuff.
We do. I think our bags were nearly full. And when you sell, is it for half the value?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Oh, wait, half of its
chapter number.
It's half of its chapter number. Okay. So, I think... Are we ever going to use... Well, these are one-handed. I was going to say, are we ever going to use things with just a yellow die again? But if they're one-handed, I guess it's possible. I think we're not using the split leather brigadine. That's a sell. Not going to use this quarter staff. That's a sell. Well, are these just copies of what I'm already using? Evergreen staff? No, this is better. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to use this quarterstaff. How is Thera's bow? How does it compare to this one we have in the bag? Is it better? Gnarled Tom. Wow, it's a chapter 2 unique item. She could use a bow upgrade. What's this look like? It's a black die. When you attack, spend Animus to add 2 range per Animus versus when you crit, gain Animus.
I think I'm going to swap my bear to this totem, which says when you critical during an attack that hits, add 2 damage and 2 knockback.
Oh wow, I had assumed that an item called totem was a gear, but that's a two-handed weapon.
Yeah,
wow.
it's a mace.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, or I could add range to my my setup here, but no, I think I don't want this
I
totem.
think I'm selling the bow.
So I'm gonna buy this for 7. I'm gonna sell this great axe for 3, so I'll only pay 4 for this.
Okay, so that one you've already gone down into the pile where I haven't resolved the costs yet. Yeah. Oh, wait. Why are you not using this? What's your armor on the bear currently?
Well, I just bought this banded mail.
Yeah, this was also 4 defense. This Plate of the Fallen. It was a unique we got from Chapter 5, and it says when you lose your last health, you remain on the board with 1 health. Max 1 use per encounter. It seems good.
That seems incredible. I actually think that's good for the priest.
The
the priest is trying to ride the one line and then heal up.
Yeah, it even would allow the priest to heal even though he's on 1 health, and then
yeah, exactly, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it seems like medieval. I don't know how we put that in the bags and didn't miss putting that on a character, but it seems like a no-brainer. Yeah.
Although this, I mean, the 2 dice on. I mean, it's fine. I'll get rid of this, but I actually want to store this for later in case we want it.
Sure.
Let's not sell that one.
Okay.
Even though it's level 3, it's pretty good. What else do we have here?
I wish I was playing characters that could use more of these cool weapons, like this Lasher. This Lasher attacks all adjacent characters, and there's a shield here that gives you a defense, and it would be in your other hand. So I would love to play a character that's doing a sword and board.
So if you want to do sword and board, there's one character called the Warden.
Oh, that's what the Warden does. That makes sense.
And the Warden also has a weird relationship with the Witch. Because in this world, witches are kept under lock and key.
I remember we saw a prompt really early on that was if you have a warden and a witch.
Right. So I'm happy to play the witch, and you can play the warden, and we can see their interactions.
We can, okay, maybe we should do that for next chapter. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Is there more you want to sell, or?
Yeah, probably we don't need. This is another decent option for sword and board, but I don't think we'd want. I think we'd sell that. It's one-handed spear.
This is a cool item, by the way.
No one's using a thrown weapon anytime soon, I don't think.
Right.
I'm trying to not be too precious here because we get so many items, our bags fill up.
Yeah.
Are we using this chain hook? Also, probably not.
Okay.
Even though they're cool, unique items.
Yeah. Let me just double check the sell value.
All right. Heavy cloth robe. No. Okay. I think I'm happy with. I've kept 7 things back plus anything else you want to put in the bag as you buy new things. So, selling for half their value?
Yep.
I'm going to add up their value for 8, 12, 15, 22, 29, 33, 37, 42, 46. So these sell for 23, basically. I'm not sure. Maybe I was supposed to round each one separately, but I'm just going to do it that way. That seems easiest.
Yeah, it does say half rounded up, so...
so I'm giving up a couple?
Giving up a couple.
Okay, well then I'll round it up to 25.
There you go.
Yeah. Make it easy on ourselves that way. So here's the 25 we just got.
It's probably more than that, because you said 23? Where's the pile? We can just look at how many of them are odd.
Here you go.
Right?
1, yeah, 2, I guess you're right.
3, 4 of them are odd.
Okay, so should have had 2 more?
Yeah.
Why not? At this point, that is not much money.
No, but yeah. All right, and then is there anything else we want to buy here?
Yeah.
I was looking at this. I'm not sure if one of your guys wants this. When you draw 2 or more criticals during an attack from an ability card, keep that card in your hand.
That's cool, but how often do you draw 2 or more criticals?
I don't know.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Crits are...
This might incentivize you to roll some dice, Just be
it's true. It's true.
It's kind of fun.
The Weathered Pouch, if you've moved at least 3 hexes, gain a combat token of your choice. Both of my characters having movement abilities. Although, wait, never mind. It does not combo. Both of their movement abilities are actually teleports. I think it uses the wording on both without moving through the intervening hexes. Yeah, okay. So I don't think then it would qualify for if you've moved at least 3 hexes.
Right, totally. It's interesting.
That Evergreen Staff is a copy, I believe, of what the Avi is already using.
Yeah. These are both
that's identical.
These provide extra battle flow. I don't know if we need it, but it's not bad.
This just was stuck between 2 cards there. I don't think I'm supposed to have that extra defense. If you have 4 health or less, all adjacent Oathsworn may battle flow a card once. That is cool. Sure.
Or
Actually,
this
that
one,
seems like good.
all. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Oh yeah, Warm Fleece Tunic versus what's the Harbinger currently wearing? A Warm Fleece Tunic. That's exactly what I'm already wearing. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, perfect.
And on the Ranger, I've got.
You decided not to upgrade the bow?
Nim's Regret. Oh yeah, this card is incredible. Good question. Is it an upgrade?
I don't know.
Is a
black is
a black an upgrade over 2 yellows?
Better over 2 yellows.
I guess as far as like it's worth 3 empowers over a white versus
Right.
2 yellows. Yeah, that's true. This Gnarl Tom is a unique from boss number 2. This one, I really like its ability to reward crits though. Versus this one is spent to add range. I don't know. I do have an ability that rewards me for going as long range as possible. Okay, fine. I'm sold.
Okay,
I'm sold.
Great.
So sell this for another 1, and then spend 6 basically for this bow.
Lovely.
Okay, so that's in our
Honestly, this runner, like, he's really doing his work. He was worth it.
Yeah, he's gone back and forth. He
back
must
and
have made
forth,
a few arm loads.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so we'll clean the rest of this up, and we need to distribute that money.
Are we doing it right? Do you think it's for every single transaction you have to pay a runner?
No, I don't
would be
think
crazy,
so.
right?
That would be crazy.
Yeah. It does say you can do it multiple times during a scenario, but why would you if it's this way?
Yeah, I don't know. Why would they forbid it either?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving 5 to the Ranger, 5 to the Harbinger.
Oh, I see. Because you could also go to the apothecary if you wanted to.
There, I gave you some money. I gave you 11 between your characters, but it was 10 and 1 because that's the way the coins were.
Fair enough.
Feel free to shift them around.
I'm not worried about
Okay.
This was all spent as well.
And this was all... that's all spent, okay. And then this was the rest... This is what's remaining in our bag. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Little shopping interlude.
Love it.
Now, do we just start the prison break?
No, I think we should just see what this is. I'm not that worried about it.
I'm afraid it's a failure condition.
You think so?
You took too long.
Ooh. No, I think it's going to be no, you have to just go.
Right, because we were trying to make this prison break happen before it's like too late and he gets executed, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you want to just go? Ooh, it is tempting.
It worries me. I don't think I think that most of the time you want to avoid the if you're on this path, go to the storybook thing. I think that is the deadline.
Okay. I'm down to start it. We only have 2 maps, but I'm fine with that.
That's the majority of maps.
That's 2/3?
Yeah.
That's a 2/3 majority.
I'm ready to start the prison break.
Okay.
Armed with all the information you have gathered about the internal layout and the guard routes of the Tribunal Hall dungeon. Oh, the Tribunal Hall is where the dungeon is. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You decide it's time to strike. Under cover of darkness, you set off for the Tribunal Halls. If the first row of the time track has any empty spaces, fill up the first row of the time track with time tokens. Then, whether it had any empty spaces or not, add a time token to the time track, ignoring the time track trigger there. So basically, we definitely go, and so it's going to trigger this anyway. Huh.
No, it is ignoring the
trigger. Oh, ignoring the trigger there. Okay. Yeah, so I think we were going to be forced to do the prison break now anyway, and I wonder if that would have had any additional downside.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
To say. Yeah. I am curious to know.
But
maybe
there's
after
no...
this we'll learn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we could easily, because the passage to read is printed on here, we could easily pull out the book and look it up later if we want.
Or we could just go back and, just press back and find out right now. I mean, if you wanted to, you
that's
could.
That's true.
Anyway,
that's true. But I don't want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
With hoods draped over your faces and long sleeves covering your oath marks, you closely watch the patrol patterns of the Tribunal Hall guards. Spotting a gap in the timing of the routes, you slip inside the building through a side door, which leads down into the dungeons. At the bottom of the stairs, you secure a dark nook to hide in. Down here, you are the danger stalking in the darkness. An irony not lost on you. Before you lies the first of 3 rooms you must traverse to reach Pyron's cell. It might certainly be simpler to use brute force to free the mendicant, but you are on a diplomatic mission here. If you kill any of the guards or are detected in the dungeon, it could spark a crisis between the cities.
I love that we have the 3 rooms and we know what one of them looks like. Or 2 of them look like.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I wonder what's going to happen here. Okay. I hope this is good.
You remind your party, if a guard spots you, make a break for it. Open the journal to page... Oh, do we have the journal on the table? We always have to get more stuff out.
All right.
The journal to page 48
Want
and
to
read
hit
the
pause really
instructions. Yeah, I'll hit pause. Got the journal. Page 48 and read the instructions. Keep the journal page open for use until you have finished the dungeon. So 48. Prison break rules. Keep this page open until you finish the prison break reference. Yep, okay. Goal. Find your way through the prison using the maps you have found. You'll need to decipher which map corresponds to the room you're in. If you do not have all 3 maps, you will need to make your best guess for movement.
It's a disaster.
Movement. Establish which entrance you're standing in, then make your way to the opposite exit on the far side of the room. Once you've chosen a direction to move in, you won't stop until you reach a wall or the exit. If you reach a wall, you will turn 90 degrees in the direction of your goal and head straight until you reach another wall or the exit. You must never enter the light or meet a guard. Guards move at the same speed as you, and their route is shown by the dotted lines on the maps. Okay. Weird.
You can never enter the light.
Yeah, never enter the light. So, for example, like to get from here to here, it's a pretty simple route like this, right? As long as you're timing it so the guards aren't there, you just go around to avoid the lights. Like, it doesn't actually seem like it's that complicated. Assuming that's what, like, we don't...
Is that what it says?
What I don't understand is, like, where we're starting and where we're going, where
Yeah.
our goal is. Maybe the story is about, the app is about to give us more info.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Because it says you have to deduce which room you're in.
Oh, right. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. It's going to be a problem that we only have 2 of the 3.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens. We're going to fail, but it's okay.
From the safety of the shadows, you closely watch the patrolling guardsman in the next room as he passes. So be looking at these as I read.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Because you closely watch the patrolling guardsman in the next room. As he passes, the Nook effectively conceals your presence from the light of his torch. Once he's out of sight, you carefully listen to discern his patrol route. A few moments pass, you hear his footfalls carry him down a flight of stairs, and up another. Then you hear a door in desperate need of oil squeak open. Moments later, a second door. Finally, a bell rings, most likely signal to other guards in the dungeon that all is well on this patrol. As the last echo from the bell fades, the guard passes by you once again. You got this figured out?
No.
From your vantage point, you see only 2 possible paths. One way leads to the left, and the other way leads to the right. The wall in front of you most likely has prisoner cells on the other side.
Okay, so this card has a bell on it, and so does this card. I figured that part out. There's a bell right there, and there's a bell right here.
I think we're on this one.
So read it again?
Down one staircase and up another, I think, is right here.
But that didn't work with the timing, I don't think. Wait, try it again?
Because, yeah, it says, you hear his footfalls carry him down a flight of stairs and up another.
Right.
Then you hear a door in desperate need of oil squeak open.
So which door is that? Because there's no door between him and the bell.
There's a door there, yeah.
Okay, then keep going.
Although it says, moments later, a second door.
Oh, that's this door, here.
Okay, finally a bell rings.
Yeah.
And there's the bell.
Yeah.
And
then he repeats the route?
Yeah.
So then he's basically going like around like this.
So the question is, we have 4, because it mentioned left and right, but we actually have 4 choices here.
Where are we?
They are,
Are we in this room?
well, we can't enter the light, so, like, if we were in this room, we'd be hosed, I think. Well, yeah, from your vantage point, okay, here, wait, there's a little bit more. From your vantage point, you will see only 2 possible paths. One way leads to the left, and the other leads to the right. So does that mean we're just, like, at this entrance? Because then you're just looking at a wall with a left and a right, right?
Maybe.
Okay. It's like, I think we're probably at one of the 4 edges, one of the 4 entrances. That's my guess.
Okay.
And so it seems like it's here, because that doesn't describe here. You don't have just a path to the left and right there. It kind of describes here, but like you basically see kind of that way. It doesn't describe here. Feels to me like we're in this map standing here.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure.
So then we still have 4 options to parse.
Yeah.
Go left just after you hear the bell, go right just after the guard passes, go left after the first door opens, or go left after the second door opens.
Oh my god, this is so hard.
This is very hard.
Okay, so
if we're here, if
Yeah.
we go left to get around here, the problem is, so we really just would need to get, like, I mean, just trying to, assuming we don't have to make it all the way through here without, pausing or something. If we get to here, we're good. It's not on his route. So
no, we won't stop. So it says once you hit a wall, you won't stop. You'll turn
that's
90
true.
degrees towards
Yeah.
your goal. So like once we go, we're going. the whole time.
Okay, and it seems and his loop is like a figure 8 like
where
this.
Where does he start?
So I think we want to go left after the bell. Like if you treat the bell as the start, then we would make it around this corner, and he's kind of following us.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Unless we're in this.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I'm down to go left after you hear the bell.
Okay. I'm going to do it. As soon as the bell sounds, you start down the hallway to the left. Moving quickly but quietly, you're about to round the corner when the light of the guard's torch catches your eye. Hearts racing, you barely duck out of sight in time to avoid detection. Safely moving to the other side of the room, you push further into the dungeon.
Okay.
I wonder if there was only 1 out of 4 that worked, or if there were actually a couple. Like, I have no idea what's happening behind the scenes
that's
here.
really interesting. Okay.
Okay.
So
you want to read the next one? And we are setting that aside, assuming we were right, we were in there at all.
I guess we could leave it here. Okay.
But,
a recess in the entrance's alcove offers the perfect hiding place to hear the patrol route of the guard in the next room. There are plenty of shadows in this part of the dungeon, but you will still need to be careful. As the guard moves past you, his torchlight illuminates a door directly ahead of your position. Once he moves out of sight, you again listen closely to his footsteps and try to decipher his pattern of movement.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the sound of a door opening and closing, followed by footsteps on a set of stairs. Then the familiar ring of the watch bell. His footsteps now more distant, you hear a second door open and close. Finally, quick footsteps take him on another set of stairs. A few moments later, his torch approaches once again.
I don't think it's this one anymore. So, standing here made sense for him passing you and illuminating a door directly ahead.
Okay.
But then the footsteps, though, I don't think quite follow, because then it's the sound of
this way. There's a door.
Oh.
The next thing is a door.
Oh, right.
Door opening and closing.
Then stairs.
Then stairs.
Then the bell.
Then the bell.
Second door. You're right.
And then another set of stairs.
I was just assuming clockwise for some reason, and it works perfectly. So I think we are here.
Yes.
And the guard is looping this way.
Right. And where are we trying to go?
That is always the hard... Are we always trying to go... So in the last one, assuming we were right, we went across. Is that what we're also doing here, you think? Trying to get to the other side?
So let's see. We have 5 choices.
Oh, boy.
So we can go left just after the sound of the second set of stairs. So that's this set of stairs. We'd run right
Agreed.
So we're not doing that. Go right just after the first door opens. So then we'd be kind of trailing behind him. Going at the same pace. Okay. We can also go straight ahead just after that door opens.
That's what's interesting, is that there is a completely straight route.
But if we go at the same pace as him, let's see. I mean, it's hard to map it out, but he'd be a little ahead of us. So he might just pass in front of us before we go out.
And if I could metagame a little bit, there are 5 options here. 3 of them are to go straight, and just different timings, which makes me feel like straight is the call.
Right choice.
I mean, it could be a clever way to mislead. But
so we can go straight either after the first door opens or after the second door opens.
I think we would do the second door.
We might both be in this hallway at the same time if we do the second door. If we do the first door, he'll be a little ahead of us. No, you're right. Second door. Or the third choice is just after the guard has passed you. So then we'd be kind of like ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of us being like basically in this space at the same time.
You're not worried about him passing this hallway at the same time we pass that hallway? And looking down and seeing us?
I don't know.
Why can't we just go here, pause, wait, and then go?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I'm
trying, and that's sort of what my mind wants to do, is give us a little bit of credit that we're not just like 7 miles per hour straight line, no exceptions. Like we're pausing at the doors and listening, right. In which case, I think that if we did it after it was the second door, so it'd be as the guard is going back this way, we'd be going up here, and that would be good. All right.
As the second door closes, you make your move, carefully passing through the door directly ahead. You come to a second door, opening it a crack and peeking through to make sure the path is clear. Confident the guard is well out of sight, you move quickly past barrels of burning amber, constantly scanning your surroundings. You notice a lifeless set of eyes staring blankly out from a cell to your left as you pass through the last door. Oh, so there's a cell right here.
I guess.
Finally making it to the opposite end of the room without incident. Another challenge completed. You move further into the dungeon.
Okay. Does that mean we have this one for last?
All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. The acrid smell of burnt flesh mingled with human waste assaults your senses. The moaning and wailing from tortured souls in this cell block tells you this part of the dungeon is reserved for the Inquisition's most despised heretics. Sorry, excuse me. You can pause it if you want.
You're okay.
Okay. You know Father Pyron is being held in the far right cell of the row furthest away from the entrance. This is the end of the line. No more doors to reach. Now you just need to get him. In this part of the dungeon, you are trying to reach Pyron's cell, not the opposite exit. As if it told us it was the opposite exit.
Okay. So, of course, the prisoner's cell itself is the one we don't have the map for.
Right. Amongst the din of agony, it is hard to discern any pattern to the patrolling guard's movement. You hear footsteps on 2 sets of stairs, quickly followed by more footsteps on 2 sets of stairs. The sounds seem to come from both ends of the room. A bell rings twice with only a brief interval between. Next, you hear the clanking thud of 2 doors. There are 2 guards patrolling this area. See, it's like telling you.
Yeah,
you get it.
You're right.
One of the guards travels his route a bit slower than the other, stopping to your left. He mumbles a few words. May you keep me on the path. Then moves on. It will be difficult to avoid the guards. You see only 2 possible paths. And yet there are 4 options.
Yeah, because of the timing, yeah.
A set of stairs on your left leading upward, and a path leading and a path ahead leading to a wall some way off. Unfortunately, from your vantage point, you cannot tell what is to your right. One wrong move here, and Pyron is dead. You must choose carefully.
So, okay, is there anything we can do to narrow this down to be better than just a 1 in 4 guess?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So let's see. You hear footsteps on 2 sets of stairs, quickly followed by more footsteps on 2 sets of stairs. So there's like 4
Or they're both going on the same 2 sets of stairs.
Yeah. Because it does say a bell rings twice with only a brief interval in between. Okay, so they are walking.
They like meet up at the bell.
Yeah. Yeah, they meet. You think it's 2 routes that coincide at the bell, not 2 of them walking one route together. That would make more sense.
I think so.
Okay. So both of them, like, say that they're kind of like a left loop and a right loop, both of them hit stairs twice.
So you can imagine it's like stairs, and then they come down the middle and get a bell, hit the bell. And we know he's in the top right.
One of the guards travels his route a bit slower than the other, so they're not actually in synchronized.
Sync. Right.
God, okay. He mumbles a few words, may you keep me on the path, then moves on. 2 possible paths. Stairs to the left or path leading to a wall some way off. Unfortunately, from your vantage point, you cannot tell what is to your right. So, our options are go left when you hear the first door open. Go directly ahead just after the bell sounds twice. Go directly ahead as the far guard finishes the second set of stairs. Go directly ahead when you hear the first door open. Again, 3 of them are go directly ahead, so I feel like my, test-taking bullshit experience tells me we should go ahead.
I'm down for that.
And then if you want to continue the metaing it, when you hear the first door open is listed on 2 of them versus unique ones for the other one. So is it the one that is the combination of the most common first half and the most common second half? I feel like a lot of tests work that way.
If you want to, I'm fine with that.
Do you have any other basis?
No, I don't. I mean, the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's hard to know without looking at the thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, where is the bell? How far away is the bell would be helpful.
All right, so I lean towards the last choice.
That's fine.
You fine with that? All right.
I think we're going to get caught, but I'm fine.
You watch as the guard closest to you vanishes behind a door, giving you the opportunity to move. Starting up the hall to the right, you pass a row of cells filled with the dead and dying, pausing briefly to make sure the guards are out of sight. With the path clear, you make your way to Father Pyron's cell on the other side of the room undetected.
Honestly,
we did it.
I'm so mad that test bullshit
I know.
worked.
I'm kind of mad too.
Yeah,
that worked. And
That's great though.
I'm curious whether it truly worked on kind of all 3 of them, which is a bummer. If so,
but these were really cool. This is a fun puzzle.
It was.
I actually want to, even though we got this right now. I'm just.
I think now. Yeah. Let's see what it looked like. Yeah.
So.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's like two of them, each covering a quarter.
Right. So there's like the.
So from your vantage, you can't tell what's to your right. What does that mean? Is it just because it's a dark corner
Yeah, maybe.
to our right?
Yeah.
Were we here? I don't
It's
know.
hard to tell
It's
which
very
side we're
tough.
on, yeah. Anyway, so basically the bell's in the middle, and they're patrolling in these two different corners, going across various sets of stairs, and then meeting in the middle to ring the bell.
Huh. Wild. All right. Well,
Cool.
we did it.
We did
I
it.
think. Instruction. All Oathsworn gain a combat token of their choice.
Oh, what'd you like?
I'll take a... let's get an Empower for the Avi and a... Also for the Ranger.
Okay.
Thanks.
I think the bear is also going to take an Empower. As for the priest, maybe a redraw to better heal.
Do you know where that free company sheet is? Because we're supposed to write a keyword on it right now. It's...
How did we lose it?
We had... Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Because we write down the keyword low church on your free company sheet.
That's fun.
Yeah, you want to add that to
Sure.
our notes there. The man you find in his cell is old and broken, but alive. Father Pyron slowly lifts his head, about to speak, when you motion for him to remain silent. Even in the darkness, the telltale signs of torture are impossible to miss. The disheveled man trembles, barely able to stand on his own. He won't make it out of here without help. Two of you flank Pyron, quickly toss his arms over your shoulders, and usher him from the cell. Hampered by Pyron's poor physical condition, you're forced to make slow, methodical moves while probing for an escape route. Thankfully, an opening finally presents itself, and you use the distraction of a guard change to slip undetected from the dungeon. Now you must make your way to the rendezvous point on the outskirts of the city. Place location 20 and go there.
Okay.
20 is...
There we go.
Where's 20? Oh, communal farm. Okay.
The other communal farm.
Here you go.
You arrive at the rendezvous point and hand Father Pyron over to a small gathering of mendicants from the way awaiting your arrival. Their relief and joy is silently shared so as not to draw unwanted attention. The mendicants, deeply grateful for your help, formally pledged their support to Varum. You tell them they tell you they will be ready to leave in a day. Before they depart, Father Pyron wishes to speak with you. Oathsworn, he wheezes, mustering whatever strength he has left. I owe you my life, but I would ask for one final kindness, if I may. This is terrible. There's a small village to the southeast. My wife and daughters are there. At that, Finian steps in. We sent a runner to retrieve them as soon as we heard that you had been imprisoned, but they never returned. Worry wrests control of Father Pyron's features as he tries to rise to his feet. With a forceful hand, Finian easily pushes Father Pyron back to the seated position. You are in no condition to go. If you are to travel tomorrow, you must rest, Father. Resigned, Father Pyron looks up at you with pleading eyes. Please, Oathsworn, will you bring them back to me? This had not been part of the deal. But should you refuse the man, he may do something foolish. The Inquisition will be looking for him, and should he or another Low Church member be caught, now the whole mission would be put in danger. You can travel the city most freely, and if there is trouble, you are best placed to deal with it. Without objection, you look to the southeast and head for the village. Place location 21 and go there.
Okay, to the southeast. Oh, these are the villages, I guess. Oops, let me change the camera. There we go. It's one of these villages out here. 21.
You arrive at the village just as dawn breaks. A thick morning fog has rolled in, limiting visibility. As you draw closer, the absence of guards on the walls or any signs of activity immediately sets you on edge. Something is wrong. You signal your comrades to remain silent and draw your weapons. You find the villagers gathered together in the square. Most of them seem to be in a trance, slowly swaying on their feet with blank expressions on their faces. You move in for a closer look, taking up positions behind stacks of crates, and see a row of cages. Most are empty now, but a few contain villagers huddled together. Before them you see the familiar silhouette of a venerator. He reaches into one of the cages and drags out an old man. No! Father! A young man screams from within another cage as the venerator moves toward a massive slab of stone bedecked with candles.
Is this the venerator that was missing? No. Is it a rogue venerator?
Corpses litter the ground around the slab, but to your surprise there is little blood. In one of the venerator's hands is a large tome. You do not know what the knight is capable of. Something malefic is clearly taking place. If you bide your time, you may learn more of what is happening here, but a man is about to die, and you still have the element of surprise.
Ooh.
We're going to choose an option, but let's talk for a second. Okay. Yes, right. Obviously, like they're like, we did the whole story, which I thought was really cool, and then they're like, okay, but at the end of this, you fight the Chapter 7 boss, which is the
Venerator. I was like, you knew that from Painting the Mini, yeah.
Well, I don't know about that, but... Alright, so choose one. Observe the ritual that's about to happen, or charge the Venerator to save the man.
So wait, the Father Pyron was missing his wife and daughter.
Yes.
So this is someone else.
This is not a wife or daughter.
I don't know. What do you think?
You want to watch this man die? I mean,
we already did that with the kid being whipped at the start. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe twice is too much.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it feels like we're going to have to do something, and the element of surprise is valuable.
I mean, in gaming terms, it sounds like this is going to determine whether we have ambush in the fight or not, or whether we get ambushed in the fight or not.
I feel like if we observe, we might get to look at his rules, and if we charge in, we won't have ambush.
I could absolutely see this being a decision between scouting or going first.
Right.
Right. I think I prefer to go first.
Sounds good to me.
So we charge in?
Yep.
All right.
The Venerator slams the man onto the slab, easily holding him down with one hand. He raises his massive mace skyward. Refusing to stand idly by as more innocent villagers are sacrificed, your group charges the plated giant. Closing on the Venerator, you notice the villagers have begun to move too. At first, you thought they were joining your charge, and then it dawns on you. Their glazed eyes are locked on you, and you see no humanity in them. As they begin to claw at you, you realize it is not just the Venerator you have to contend with. You will have to fight all of them.
Oh, fuck.
All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
All right.
If you have the mystery chest, open mystery box 7.
We do.
And this is a small box.
Oh, it is a small box. Yeah, you were specifically hiding the size of the box from me.
Yeah.
So as to not give anything away. Oh, very nice. That is a silver and gold. That's a Venerator, if I've ever seen one. Does he have like a shield that looks like the wall of a chapel on his back?
I don't know if that's a shield. I feel like there's candles on the top of that.
Oh, yeah.
Which maybe is hard to tell, but I feel like those are prayer candles.
This this new camera focuses on it better than the old one as I move it up, so you can see it pretty well. Yeah, so that's what I'm referring to. There's like some figures in there and candles on top and a giant hammer, much like your priests.
That's right. It looks very similar to my priests.
Yeah. Cool.
Did you already get the redraw tokens?
I did. I took care of this.
For all of us?
Yep.
Okay, great. Cool. And then it says proceed to the encounter.
Okay.
And here's the art of him.
Oh, yeah.
You can kind of, yeah. If you want to see. Looks pretty cool.
Very cool. Well painted.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it then.
Yeah.
As a text pops up on my iPad. I forgot to put it in Do Not Disturb.
Alrighty.
Cool. This was a long one.
It was a long one.
This was like I think this is about a 2-hour video.
And it was a good one.
It was.
This is a really.
I really
maybe
enjoyed
my
it.
favorite scenario so far.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
It's one of the most hands-on that solve a very specific puzzle.
Yeah.
With new components for that puzzle and
Right.
everything. I agree with you. Slight letdown that my Scantron tests logic got us through.
But that's okay. I'm glad we made it through at least.
Yeah, yeah.
And Oathsworn are, they have to take standardized tests to become Oathsworn, probably.
Of course, yeah. It's a whole regimen of them.
Right.
I'm sure, no doubt. Yeah, this is why we're so respected. Is we passed so many written exams.
It's like the 99th percentile of STAR tests. It's like
exactly.
Anyway, prerequisite to be an Oathsworn.
Okay. Yeah, this was super fun, and I'm sure this is a good fight to be back. I wonder if we're finally using the other side of the board. The combat board has, I think it's double-sided, and we've always used the one with the green woodsy motif. I can't even remember what's on the other side. But
it's brown.
Given that we're not really in the woods proper, yeah, maybe we get new hexagon art.
I feel like we've used the brown side once.
Have we?
Maybe for the worm fight?
It's possible.
Anyway,
it's possible.
It was a long time ago.
When we play seven fights over the course of about a year, you may start to forget some. Yeah,
totally.
Definitely true. All right, well, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Let us know what you would have done to find that third map that we missed, because it hurt.
It
hurt
did.
not having it. Yeah, we just went and it was cool that we got the bit of information about the monsters being like Frankenstein style creations, but yeah, other than that,
yeah,
I have regrets.
That's going to come back though. That's like a nice little bit of foreshadowing, I think.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the game doesn't, like, it didn't give us a keyword. So that was literally just some story we got exposed to. But the game's not going to remember that we learned that, right?
Right.
Which is a little, like, it would have been cool if there was a keyword we wrote in there or something.
That would have been cool.
To be like, oh, we at least got kind of that
Yeah.
secret for later.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think those map cards, that's the first time I've had in a game, you gain some information and it's not just check a box, you now have that information. It's like, no, this is actual information that you will use. That's cool.
Right.
That's
Agreed.
really fun.
Agreed. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a long video. It ends here. Thank you for watching. Jordan's all over the Game Brain podcast if you want more of Jordan, and he's talking about miniature skirmish games on there too. Lately.
Screw it up.
Screwed up. And I'm here. It's the only place I am is other than Threads and Blue Sky. So we'll be back soon with Encounter 7. Until then, be optimal.